Hotline League is brought to you by Omen by HP.
Where were we? We got some people.
We have a caller. That's where we are.
Need to catch up on these, Mark. Look, I'm happy though because we've got the Jamie Dodger on the show. Jamie Dodger.
Jamie.
Is it Jamie?
It's the Jamie Dodger, yeah. Jamie is okay.
What do you want to talk about, Jamie?
You've never heard of Jamie Dodger before?
No, what is it?
Yeah, they're British like biscuits.
British
I had no clue what
biscuits?
that was either, Travis.
Is it?
It's okay.
Is it
Excuse
Dodger?
my uncultured friends.
Is Dodger a biscuit?
The Jammy Dodger is.
Okay, so you
It's
can't
like a
just
brown
have a
biscuit.
Dodger. It's a Jammy Dodger.
Is it like a pronoun?
Because
or
I
is
assume
it
that a
like
Jammy
type
Dodger is
of
like a
biscuit?
Dodger that you've like put a lot of jam on. Like
Is
this
it
is
a
that's just
store?
one
Is it a
Jammy
specific
Dodger right
location?
there.
Like you go to Jammy Dodgers?
Oh man.
No, it's like a brand. It's like a packaging brand.
Oh, okay. So,
So
it's
it's
like
like
You
branded.
buy a pack of
It's
buy
like
a pack
Keebler
of
Elf.
Jammy Dodgers.
Yeah. Okay.
Girl Scout cookies.
And why did you decide to make your Discord name this?
My name is Jamie, and the joke is that it's like the Jammy Dodger.
All right. Well, I feel less bad about calling you Jamie. Jamie,
Hi.
I think I probably know, but I'll ask anyway. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the UK.
Whoa!
What a
I would have
surprise.
thought Thailand. No, Jamie, what do you want to talk about on the show today?
I want to talk about how, obviously, yesterday someone posted up an Inbin article about King's Own Dragon X, and how once again Koreans are hyping up other regions. And I just want to kind of get your guys' opinions and thoughts on how every single international event Koreans come out with these interviews saying how, I don't know, like TSM is going to perform or how Fnatic is going to smash everyone or something like that. And how much of it is just them being polite or like, you know, the
People need to
Monte
know
Cristo
there's
tweet.
a difference between what Koreans
Yeah.
say and what they mean.
The Monty tweet, yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's any truth to it, or if it's whether it's just teams underperforming and not meeting the expectations, or them just being polite. and
What
kind of
was?
how
Sorry,
it's-
I'm on the Invent website. What was the interview headline? Because I missed it.
It was the interview with King's Own Dragon X.
Okay.
It was the I believe it was Sin was quoted saying that the gap between other regions this time around is not as big as it was in the past.
Oh. Which yes, we've all heard before, specifically from.
The gap is closing,
The gap is
guys.
closing.
So
Can I share an opinion?
That's what all the show runs on, Kelby.
no, Kelby. Sorry, no opinions allowed here.
If you're
Only facts.
if you're a fight promoter, and let's say you're representing Conor McGregor, right, or Floyd Mayweather, one of the greats or something like that, right, and you're in your prime, you're gonna, whoever your fighter goes out against, they're gonna crush them. Your opponent that they're fighting, you want to get the most views, the most sales possible, right? Is it a good narrative to say that their opponent has no chance, or is it a good narrative to say that your opponent is good and this is the guy that might do the upset? You know, like they actually have all this strength, blah blah, or something like that. That's what Korea's doing.
So first off,
They're putting out fluff pieces about other regions that they know are weak, just to make it seem like there's some chance, so that their victories that they know are assured are greater than they actually are. So that the Korean narrative continues about how they're gods, when really they're just shitting on all the little kids who have no chance.
so first
What
off,
happened
Mark,
to your
for some
webcam?
reason, it's like he did. It's like when you
I don't
put
know, dude. Like, I thought it was an internet thing.
when
and
you
then
when you
it just
open your
doesn't-
phone camera and it's actually on selfie, and you're just like, what is that?
No,
That's
I
what
don't
Mark
know.
is experiencing right now.
I had nothing changed. It just switched to my laptop webcam.
Well, just
and I
tell
don't-
the Skype to use the other one.
Thanks, fucker. I never used to do it before.
I don't. We've got a guest on the show right now, Mark. Can you show a
I'm not the
modicum
one
of?
trying to give tech advice to someone who's grown up on a computer.
All right,
I mean,
that-
this is what you guys get for using Skype, really.
yeah.
Listen,
no, it's true.
You Jamie Dodger biscuit boy. I don't need your sass, okay? I get enough from Mark and Kelby.
Assassin too.
So I'm not saying that is actually necessarily 100% the case, but Korea does have a selfish reason to make other regions look better than they may actually be.
Yeah, I mean, like the Conor McGregor stuff, like they'll usually like shit talk a fair amount too. Like, oh, I'm gonna break
Yeah.
his face so bad you won't recognize. I don't know why Conor McGregor sounds like that.
Well,
but-
except for that's the opposite, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like there's not as much of that from the Korean side, so it's not quite hyped up the same way. But I think to Kelby's point, like, I don't think it does anyone any good to just be like, yeah, I think there's an insurmountable gap between Korea and the rest of the world.
You might as well not even tune in.
Yeah, like that doesn't get anyone hyped. Plus, if they do lose, it just makes them look even fucking stupider. So they do.
Yeah.
They go for the the safe play. They go for the safe, efficient play of respecting your opponent.
I honestly I know that is such the easy thing to believe, but in talking to these guys, like I will ask them outside of the interview ends, I'll have said that, and I'm just like, why do you guys always say this shit? And that's never true. And they always honestly believe it. At least that's the vibe I get from the several players I've talked to. They honestly do feel like, and I think it's because scrims happen, shit like that happens. Everything looks like it's a little bit more close until people actually get into it. We've heard time and time again that like TSM and teams like them will just come in and like destroy everyone in scrims. Peter has told me before that about times where they're just like rampaging against like top tier teams like SKT, and then obviously like everything falls apart on stage. Now I know there's scrims don't matter, whatever, but I can understand why in these experiences you end up with teams that are hesitant to come out and be like, well, once again, Korean will reign supreme, because if you're getting cramped on by North American teams, like you're probably more likely to say this.
I think it's also the kind of thing where like individual skill in League of Legends is really, really hard to define because like I think at this point we all accept the fact that, like, for the most part, North American players can decently lane all right versus Korean players and they don't get smashed in lane. And then it becomes a team game and like your individual skills in that team game begin to shine and things like that. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from is like, and I don't know what the Korean perception is of North American players, but I think some people think like, oh my God, the Koreans are so much better. They're going to destroy us. And then it's like, no, it's not quite like that. Like the first 10, 15 minutes might be close. And then like they'll make a bunch of good plays and stuff like that. So I think it's maybe them kind of saying like, no, he's a good individual player. He does fine against me in lane. Or like sometimes they beat us in the early game and stuff like that. And then like scrims almost never get to like a legitimate on stage. People are approaching these situations the way they would on stage.
Yeah.
So you never get to see the actual skill difference in scrims. Like that just never manifests in scrims when it's about Baron vision control for the next 10, 15 minutes of this scrim. It doesn't happen. And so you don't get to see that.
Scrims historically play way bloodier than stage matches, at least when I was managing teams.
I've heard that before. Until every now and then you just hear the two teams that are like, we scrimmed each other all week and it would just be like 9-0 by 10 minutes, and then it'd be like the opposite the next one. Like it does feel like sometimes you just get like really weird one-sided stuff. Anyway,
well, even when it's close in scrims, it's not close like it is on stage. It's like, oh, they traded a lot of kills. We're like, when it's close on stage, it's like, wow, what great vision play and rotations. And it's like,
right.
Scrims don't play like that.
So we should stream scrims and ignore tournaments because it's much more exciting to watch.
Dude, thank you for finally getting on my page, man.
Scrims
That's
are really
since 2011.
Scrims are where the hype
You
is.
somehow read between all those lines I said to find my true message.
Listen, Mark, there was a time where I just sort of took you at face value. Now I've kind of got like the Mark whisperer thing, like I hear what you're saying, and when you say like everything was great at offline, I love all those people, you're really like, Pokey is the worst person on the entire planet. I get it. I now understand. I get it.
Yeah, and the best part is if we stream scrims, people will actually think TSM and these North American teams are good because they win some of those.
I think we figured out the solution to our problem. Jamie,
make NA win by streaming their scrims
by deleting real competition, by getting rid of the on-stage play.
I'm sorry, Jamie. Do you take issue with this? Seems like you might be a little EU biased. Like maybe that's why you don't like our genius idea.
NA fan.
You're a big NA fan?
I ditched watching EU in about season 2, and
All
I've been
right.
a hardcore.
We had a
An
place in our
early
heart for.
adopter.
You
a
used to
man of
be.
refined taste and
Ahead of
class.
the meta.
I'm happy that we have a
Mhm.
replacement for Davidson as our trader, our EU trader for the show.
Hats off to Jamie.
Who's your favorite NA team
Currently Team Liquid.
currently? Is it like a bandwagon thing?
Not so much a bandwagon thing. I followed Double Lift when kind of a long time ago with CLG and watching him like panic kill people on Vayne for ages. And when he then...
I knew I liked this guy.
The whole backstab arc, played out like an anime main character,
Yeah.
kicked off of his old team by his best friend,
Yeah.
The
joins
franchise that he
TSM,
built.
yeah,
Yeah.
dethrones his old team. I thought it was a beautiful story.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Very good.
But I do want to come back to when Kelby said then about the Conor McGregor style kind of Koreans hyping them up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's necessarily in their mindset to hype people up like Travis was saying, and like talking to them outside of camera shots and stuff like that, and talking to them one-on-one. You look at players like Khan that have no filter, and he just straight up was quoted saying, all top laners are going to kneel before me. So like, I think I'm with the kind of idea of these Koreans actually do think that there is a chance.
Yeah. And to be clear here, I don't think all Korean players are of the same attitude and mentality,
Yeah.
personality, right? It's not like when you look at Khan, and you can pretty tell how Koreans are. But yes, I do think that what has surprised me in the past is that oftentimes you have Korean players who are very vocal about, and very confident players will still give credibility to North America or Europe in a way that you wouldn't expect. And I don't think that is because they have been like trained to say nice things to help build up a match or to try to get any fans or anything like that. I think oftentimes, the majority of the time, perhaps it's for other reasons. So, yeah. Jamie, anything else you want to add here?
I kind of just want to say that I'm really looking forward to this MSI. It'll be really interesting to see all like obviously seeing Double Lift against Prey and
Reckless and
and
people, yeah.
of course Uzi for like the first time ever winning with his LPL title finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see all these ADCs going against each other. So yeah.
Jamie, I want to thank you for being a sub, because I noticed you're a sub on the show, so thank you so much.
I actually subbed during your AMA the other day.
Oh, thank you.
You need that MSI scroller.
Yes,
So-
yeah, thank you. It's helpful. It's going to be expensive. Anyway, thank you so much.
No worries.
Mark-
Thank you very much, guys. Have a
yeah.
good one.
Thanks, dude.
Mark,
What?
don't escape yet. Don't escape.
How come
Should I
EU
get another
callers are
person?
my favorite callers, dude?
I
How
mean,
did this
Davidson
happen?
said stuff you
Because
didn't want to
hate
hear.
America?
I don't think that's the case. We need to import EU callers too.
Well,
You
we,
want to open the
EU
borders up,
players,
Kelby?
have
EU
we had
callers.
more?
You want to open the borders? Is that what you're saying?
Have we had more international callers this show than we've had North American callers?
Yeah, we've had-
Especially if you
we've
count
had
Canada.
one-
Have we had a single?
What about the Caribbean? Is the
Have we had a?
Caribbean
US
North
caller?
American?
No.
I
I
don't
mean,
think we've had
Trinidad and
US.
Tobago is not a U.S. territory.
Let's move on
not
before
US,
we
but it's
embarrass
a North
ourselves.
American continent.